Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Today I'm going to show you guys how to replace a hard drive in a Dell Inspiron N5110. Normally I wouldn't make a tutorial video on how to replace a hard drive in a laptop because normally it's cake, but as you'll see with the N110, it is not exactly easy to do. First off, you're going to want a nice small Phillips and a nice small flathead to do some prying with. Not, super strong, hard prying or anything. And then you're going to want, to make things a little easier, you're probably going to want 2 magnets. There's really only 2 types of screws in here. 3 if you count the ones on the hard drive, but since we're swapping out, you'll know right where those are. Here I have my replacement hard drive. It's a 120 gigabyte Hitachi hard drive that I had laying around because this one decided it was going to fry out on me. I did some tests. I got it hooked up to a different computer as a external and tried reformatting it, and the hard drive is dead. So first thing, not entirely required, but you can go ahead and take off your little cover for the monitor. Not a huge deal, you don't have to do that, but it seems to be a little safer. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and flip it right over, and first thing you're going to want to do is pop open the RAM module here, where your RAM modules are stored. Go ahead and get that screw loosened all the way. Now that one is not going to come out of there. This is one of the spots where you're going to want to have your flathead handy. Go ahead and get right under there, and she just pops right off eventually. Right there. After you do that, simple, pop out your RAM modules. I have 2 in this one. It doesn't really matter, but I do like to keep them. Notice this was my bottom one and this is the top one, so I like to set them off to the side just like that, and I set them right on top of the cover that we just pulled out. Now that we have that out and that cover off, we can also go ahead and slide the DVD drive right out. Go ahead, set that over there. Next, pretty easy, pop out the battery. This is all the easy stuff right here first. Got the battery. Next, we have 10 screw holes here. So we're going to go ahead and pop those guys out. You're going to want your Phillips for that. I will go ahead and start, and I will fast forward through this part for you guys. Alright guys, now that we got that done, that's also, one of the easiest parts. As you can see, 10 screws, all on one of my magnets. These are the really strong magnets. You can go ahead, you can get them. I got them at a craft store for like $3. I got like 12 of them. But another thing you want to keep in mind is that it helps a lot to have a magnetized screwdriver. If you don't, you can pick up 2 of these magnets, get a set of these magnets, and just sit them on there. See if I can do it the right way with all the screws on here. You're going to want to put one on each side of the head of the screwdriver like so. Let that sit for a while, and that will actually magnetize the screwdriver. It will not cause any harm to your laptop, but it will make it a lot easier to pull out the screws from these holes. Next, we're going to go ahead and flip her over, open her up. Next is keyboard removal. Seems like a pain, really not. This is another place you're going to want to have your flathead, and right along the top there are 4 notches that you will just have to use your flathead and push them towards the screen, and then the keyboard will sort of come right out. Got to have a little bit of pry action go on here, not too much. If you missed one, you'll know, but you can just run your finger out along like that, and then you get it to pop right off, just like so. Then you slide it up and out. Be careful, there is a ribbon underneath. It is actually a very simple ribbon. I have to admit that the ribbons were designed very well in this. So you want to go ahead and set your keyboard off to the side. Next, you want to make sure you get all these ribbons unflipped here. Excuse me. Just like so. Pop all those out, and those are fine just like that. We're going to grab your Phillips again, and then we have 4 screws right here. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to go ahead and pull those out real quick. These are the same screws as your case screws, so you can go ahead and just throw them with there because it's not really going to matter when you're putting them all back together. There we go. And this guy right here next to where the keyboard ribbon went. Just like that. And then the top one. And now is where it gets a little tricky. Not too bad. We're going to want to take your flathead and then come over to one of the edges. I am using this side over here because I have done this a couple times and I have made myself unintentionally a little notch. And you're going to want to just pry it and slowly work around the edge. And it just pops right off. Simple as that. Just like so. There you go. Take that and set it off to the side. I forgot to plug that in, but this guy down here, let's plug him in real quick so I can show you guys a little better. Just like so. You'll have this guy down here which will prevent you from taking the motherboard out. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to take your flathead, pop it right off carefully, and you're good to go. Now something that I do, not required, but I do it because it makes it a lot simpler, is take the screen off. First thing you want to do is you're going to want to come over to your wireless card, pop off the two antenna pieces, the antenna wires, make sure that you remember which one goes to which. My wireless card here does have it marked where the black one goes and where the white one goes. So that makes that very simple. Now these, the monitor screws here are also the same as the case screws, so no worries there. First though, you're going to want to go ahead and pop this off right here. It looks like it's a ribbon, but it's not. It's actually a lot more durable. Found that out unintentionally. Go ahead and pop that off. Then you're going to want to go ahead and simply unscrew your monitor. You may not have to worry too much about the monitor flying backwards. I have not had a problem with it. It does help to have an extra hand or two if you need it. If you feel, you don't want to ruin your monitor, but you shouldn't. Because the way it's set up, as I will show you guys in a second here, we get those out. Like so. There we go. You notice I have these screws out and the monitor is not going anywhere. That is because it is designed with these two holes down here. You can see on the monitor here, there's a, I guess you could call it a pin of sorts that sits in down here to keep it level and balanced. And okay, maybe not level and balanced, but make sure your stuff doesn't go flying away on you. So make sure you get this guy unplugged. You want to grab your Phillips again. And now we have a different type of screw. They're much smaller. You want to make sure you don't lose these guys. For me, I'm missing one. There would normally be one more screw down here. But the four I have, I've probably lost it. Thing's really small. But you have these four screws here, which we're going to pop out. You do not have to worry about the CPU fan over here. The cord there, it does not interfere at all with removing the motherboard. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys off here. Another thing is if your laptop was equipped with a SD card reader on the left side here, which mine is, so I will show you guys. Before you take out that last screw, you're going to want to put pressure over here so that you don't move the whole motherboard. And you're going to want to pop the chip out, the fake chip, the placeholder. And go ahead and take out that last screw right here. There we go. Next, it's a little prying, not too much. You will not ruin anything, but you're going to want to lift from this side first and slowly pull right out. Go ahead and take the bottom half of your case and put her over there. And then you flip her over, and that is how we get to the hard drive. Hard drive is also very simple. It is just two screws over here, which are really small, same size as the motherboard screws, so you can put them over with the motherboard screws. Like so. And voila, we have our hard drive in the enclosure still. Slide her right out. You can lift a little bit. Makes it a little easier. We can go ahead and set this off to the side. Next, you will notice the way that the hard drive mounts. It's very interesting. I will show you guys just a second after I replace my batteries. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have your other hard drive handy. And you're going to want to remember which way you pulled this guy out, which was just like this. And you're going to want to unscrew right here these guys. And now since we are on the hard drive already and these are just going right back on, I do not have a magnet for these screws because they're just going right back on. I'm going to go ahead and just take off one bracket at a time. And remember the placement. You want to go ahead and take your other one. They sit on there pretty nicely to make it pretty easy to put them right back on. But you know, if you were to put them on, woo, running away screw. Got it? Alright. If you were to put them on the wrong side, you would have complete issues trying to remount your hard drive there. So we're going to go ahead. And then I will go through the reassembly process. However, it will be fast forwarded. If you guys would like to see reassembly without fast forward, let me know, and I can upload the raw footage of it so that you can figure out how you're putting your laptop back together. I just want you to make sure you get all your ribbons plugged back in, all your power cords and everything, because if you don't, you are going to run into issues. Sorry, I am totally off camera. There we go, so we can go ahead and set the bad hard drive off to the side. Go ahead and take the mounting bracket. Ta-ha. Nope, I'm still doing this wrong here. Just like that. There we go. Go ahead and remount this guy. Now, don't tighten them all the way yet until you get both screws in so that you can make sure that it's going to go in flush. You're not going to strip anything out because that is not good. And alrighty guys, so for those of you that aren't going to stick around for the reassembly, thank you very much for watching. I don't do this kind of stuff very often, but if you guys would like to see more, I might have some stuff I can work on. Some interesting little tech tutorials like this. Now we got this guy. Take the hard drive the right way, put it right back in, slide her on, and put in the two small screws. So guys that aren't sticking around, thank you very much for checking out the video. I do appreciate it. I'm just going to do the reassembly here, guys. I'm going to fast forward through it. If you want me to upload the non-fast forwarded, let me know down in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys. How are my thumbs? That way should be right, or up. There we go. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. You guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be for you. It's Josh F. Hawks signing out of a laptop hard drive tutorial, which I've never actually done a tutorial like this before. I hope it was helpful to you guys. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys.